Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Cronkite Show in social media history. I want to welcome you. You know I do it like this every night, 7 o'clock, YouTube and Facebook. So get on the phone and tell them I am the 5-star general. Tonight, man, we're going to talk a little Jesse Smollett. But we're going to talk about the devil that we know. And that's Caroll Robinson from the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats. And I got some news for y'all about my man. So sit back. Let's get to it, man. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for taking the time out to tune in to your favorite crazy black Republican. I'm a conservative, not a rhino. And tell you thank you for tuning in because I really enjoy you coming in, and hopefully you enjoy me showing up and doing what I do. Tonight we're going to talk about a smorgasbord of things. We're going to talk about a few different things tonight. We're going to talk a little Jesse Smollett. We're going to talk Caroll Robinson with the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, who has big plans for the Democratic Party. Not if I'm breathing. But anyway, man, right now I'm in Minneapolis, Minnesota. A couple of days ago, the temperature was 0. And today it kind of warmed up a bit. It's only 34 degrees outside. So it's not a game in Minneapolis. It's not a game in Minneapolis. So let's go and do what we do. I know, according to what I understand, Jesse Smollett has been found guilty of 5 of the 6 charges that he had for supposedly setting up the fake attack on him, the racially motivated, quote unquote, alleged attack on him. And people wanted to know what my thinking was. And I said, well, okay, let's talk about it. I don't really get off into these types of cases like I should, because I have a different way of thinking. People are like, well, he lied, he should go to jail, and I get that part. But at the same time, you know, I think of other things when I think of cases like this here. Did he lie? I don't know. The jury said that, he lied. And maybe he did himself an injustice by taking the stand in his own defense. Maybe he did himself in. But a lot of people want me to have a clear-cut opinion on this, and I choose not to some days because I think of other things when I think of this and folks lying to the judicial system or to the police. And I just think of other things. And when I think of this case and where my mind frame is, it brings me to something else. So if we're going to hold people accountable, right? If we're going to hold people accountable, why don't we hold her accountable? So if you don't know who this is Prosecutor Elizabeth Lederer leaving the criminal courthouse at a lunch break after presenting her summation in the Central Park jogger case. In case you don't remember that case, the Central Park jogger case was a case that which I've always known about, I didn't have to read about it. Hold on a second, y'all. Just a second, if you don't mind. I'm gonna tell you guys something that may help you when you watch the show. I know that a lot of people think that they are super smart, and you probably are. You probably are super smart. You probably are. But at the end of the day, you don't get to pick what I get to talk about. It doesn't work like that. I'm sorry. But it doesn't work like that. I get to pick what I want to talk about. And some of y'all show up, and a lot of times I actually engage you when you show up and you ask a lot of questions and you have a problem with the way that I answer your questions. Let me help you with something so that you can get a clear understanding. Let me help you with something. If you even thought, and I want you to hear me real close. If I step on your toes, let me know. If you even thought that you were smarter than me because you may feel you have more money than me, you're not. I'm a mad scientist, dude. Let's get something straight. You're nowhere near where I need to be or where I am with the way that I think and the way that I deal with certain issues. So, what I ask you to do, instead of coming aboard with your foolishness, I ask you to conduct yourself in a respectful manner. Please do that. Because if not, I will banish you. Now back to what I was talking about. And let me double check something. If you guys will give me an opportunity. And I don't care. I'm gonna take care of something I consider a problem. So just bear with me for just a second. Um because I'm not gonna do the foolishness. I can promise you that now. Um let's double check something. Okay. I'm gonna answer your question, Jeff. Like to know your reason for being Republican growing up in the area that you did. Sorry, but this isn't politics. It's TMZ shit. For you to even question my ability to be a Republican tells me that either you come from the backwoods, from some little country town, and you're embedded in your thinking, or you just dumb as fuck. You don't get to question me as to why I am what I am and where I come from. I don't owe anybody anything from the Democratic Party. Let's get that straight. See, you want me to live in this world, but you want me to stay in my lane. Am I correct? For you to even question me in 2021, that tells me something. So what is it? What party should I be in? I'm black. I come from a poor neighborhood. So what party should I be in? Or do you really want to have this conversation? But if you really want to have it, I can bring you on the show. We can squash everything I'm finna talk about right now, and I'll be glad to eat you for breakfast. Don't question me about my party affiliation because I'm serious about this. Don't question me. But if you feel that we should have stayed segregated, if we would have, we wouldn't be going through a lot of the issues we're going through right now in the black community. You want to have this conversation? If we wouldn't have thought that the water was colder on the other side of the bridge, we wouldn't be in the situation that we in now. If we would have stayed the way that we were, we'd own more businesses. We'd be far, far better off than what we were educationally. So let me get back to what I was talking about. But let me know if you want to have this conversation, homie. So Smollett gets convicted of 5 of the 6 counts that he was accused of. But this is Elizabeth leader. And let me go back to what I was talking about. Let me go back to something I was talking about. What are you guys nervous that I'm bringing this up? So we need to talk about Jesse Smollett, the black man that lied, but we don't want to talk about Elizabeth Reader, leader, who got Corey Wise, Kevin Richardson, convicted of a crime that they never committed. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Why do I give a damn about Jesse Smollett? I really don't. Let's talk about it. April 1989. 4 black kids and a Latino were off minding their own business. And somebody lied on them. The police officers corralled them, took them in, to jail, coerced fake confessions out of them. The prosecutor knew that the case was bad, took it to court anyway, and tried to destroy 4 black kids and a Latino's life. And we sitting here saying, send Jesse Smollett to jail because he lied. When are you going to send Elizabeth Reader, leader of the jail? She knew that case was bad. She knew that evidence wasn't true. So when are you going to send her to jail? See, these laws that were made, they wasn't just made for, they were made for just y'all back when they were made. But now they pertain to us. So I feel if you want to send Smollett to jail, then go look at every single case of somebody that's lied on somebody and send all of them to jail. Send them cops to jail that lied on people with them fake dope cases. Send them women to jail that lied on them dudes saying they raped them and they know they didn't. Send everybody to jail. See, because if we do that, we ain't gonna have no room in the prison system. Just from the ones that we know that did it. Was Jesse Smollett wrong for lying? He was convicted of it, but was he wrong for lying if he lied? Yes, he was. Yes, he was wrong. But this system that we live in every single day, it's not a right system. It's not a right system. Do you know how many black people's lives were destroyed because white folks lied on them? Do you want to talk about Emmett Till? Do you want to talk about Emmett Till? Do you want to talk about the 3 civil rights workers that were killed? 1 white and 2 black? Do we want to talk about the real? So if justice is to be served, let it be served on a silver platter for everybody, not just Smollett. And honestly, that's a bullshit case to begin with. We waste taxpayers' money on that. When some of the biggest cases in history, people have lied on folks and we ain't do nothing to them. How many people are being exonerated? Like every other day you see somebody being exonerated because somebody lied. Somebody lied, man. That lady was brutally raped in that park, but not by Corey, Kevin, Raymond, Antron, and Yusef. She was raped by Matthias Reyes, who confessed to it in 2022. But did that prosecutor, whether that prosecutor was white or black, knowing that the evidence was messed up, did those detectives who lied on the stands, did they go to jail? And I'm supposed to sit here today and celebrate Jesse Smollett being caught up in a bullshit case that's just garbage? Man, you ain't got to do nothing to him. His career is over. His career is over. And it was over before the attack. So those that want my opinion on Jesse Smollett, I don't really have one. I don't really have one. You feel what I'm saying? I don't really have an opinion on Jesse Smollett because the whole system is garbage. It all needs to be overhauled. And that's what it is. It all needs to be overhauled. And that's how I feel. So if you want to celebrate right and wrong, if you want to talk to me about somebody lying, I don't have a problem doing that. I don't have a problem doing that. But I tell you what, if you want to talk to me, let's talk about these dudes. Somebody lied on them. But ain't nobody went to jail for lying on them. I told you didn't want to talk to me, dude. I told you that. Nobody wants to talk to me about somebody lying on them. Persecuted. Corey Wise went through the worst of it. But who's apologized? How can you give them those years back? And that's why I don't agree with folks lying in criminal cases. I don't agree with it. But I think that the liars, especially the police officers that take an oath to protect and to serve, and then they lie in cases, I think they should get the worst of the punishments. But let's see how that works. So if people wanted me to come on here tonight and drag Justice Smollett, that's not going to happen. Because I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about the case. I don't have an opinion on the case at all. I really don't. I really don't. You feel what I'm saying? I really don't have an opinion on that case. Hold on just a second, you guys. I'm trying to open up another window. So I think that our way of thinking about things is a little twisted. I think that the people that want to ask the questions of everybody, they want to ask the questions of everybody. Be careful who you ask questions to. Because there's a whole lot of cases where people lied and ain't nobody did nothing about it. And flat out knew that they lied and didn't do anything about it. That's it for me with Smollett. That's all I can tell you. I ain't feeling it. I don't care. I had to unpack that for you. We're gonna go on to our next topic, and we're going to talk about Caroll Robinson. Caroll Robinson is the chairman of the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats. And for a minute, he was the hottest thing smoking. Since cooked grits. Caroll Robinson over there on the right, was the hottest thing smoking since cooked grits. Caroll Robinson, in all actuality, is an associate professor at Texas Southern University, where he has served as an associate dean and executive assistant to two presidents of the university. Professor Robinson is a member of the board of trustees of the Houston Community College. Well, he used to be a citizens member of the Houston Firefighters Relief and Retirement Fund Board of Trustees. He may still be that, and is a member of the advisory board of canines for cops. He's a former at-large Houston City Council member and has served as second vice president of the NAACP Houston branch and as president of the Houston Lawyers Association and as a member of the board of directors of State Bar of Texas, as well as the National League of Cities and the Houston-Galveston area. Caroll G. Robinson. Y'all remember, we talked about Caroll. We talked about him several times. And those conversations were about a bunch of fake PACs that were being done by members of the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats. And the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, hadn't done a campaign finance report in years. One of their organizations under the coalition out of Dallas had been defunct, had not even been opened for almost 6 to 7 years, but yet they were still collecting money from memberships and from politicians, and you guys were pouring money into they coffers, and it was going to 3 or 4 different mailboxes to Terrence Skank, to Antron, to Dr. Darnella Wilkerson's mailbox. So all y'all money was just being parlayed and played with. But now today I get wind that Mr. Robinson has decided, he's decided to run for Democratic Party chairman over Gilberto Hinojosa. Now I know some of y'all around there that kick it with him, y'all are gonna ride with that because it's beneficial to all of y'all. Caroll is a man that looks like he has a lot of money. He must be when he can give $5,000 to Shakira Dennis. Remember her from Next Wave Strategies? We just talked about her last, 2 nights ago with the fake contract, doing the fake outreach, COVID outreach in Fort Bend. So my question now becomes, why did your organization write a check to Shakira Dennis, your fake organization, by the way, write a check to Next Wave Strategies, didn't clear it with your board, your treasurer didn't know about it, but you write this lady a check for $5,000. My question is why? Still doing crooked stuff, huh? Well, Mr. Robinson wants to run for Democratic Party chair. Democratic Party chairperson over Gilberto Hinojosa. So my question now becomes, if you know a man has been involved with all types of shadiness, even to the point that no matter where he goes, trouble seems to follow him, would you still put him in a position of leadership by any means necessary? Has he been involved in controversy? Sure he has. Look at the title. HCC probe, did trustees still work to a friend? And I see he's on the picture with Lalu Davis, who's married to Reagan Flowers, who's now running for, she sits on the HCC board, and now she's going to run for state rep in 147. But would you vote for me if my name kept coming up in corruption? When he was on city council, it was always something. So the thing is you've gotten to a point where, especially my Democratic brothers and sisters, we've gotten to a point where you're comfortable recycling politicians. Out of all the people that you could put on a board, out of all the people that you could appoint or vote for to be over the Democratic Party, to even fathom that you would vote for Caroll Robinson amazes me. But then again, of course, some of us are not intelligent as we're not as intelligent as we portray anyway. Vote for this dude. Just because he's black and he's Caroll, but you don't have a clue the devil that he has become. The orchestrator of confusion. And Thunder say the reason why they keep voting for him is because they know he will play ball. But play ball with who? The people that's voting him into these positions don't benefit from it at all. When he was on city council, how did the black community benefit from that? When he was HCC, how did the black community benefit from that? When he was affiliated with the NAACP, and I'm pretty sure that he still is, how is the black community benefiting from the fact that this dude continues to be involved in corruption, and now he's over the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, who has multiple PACs across the state of Texas and are doing nothing more than defrauding politicians out of their money? Money is the root of all evil. When I first heard that as a kid, I didn't understand it, but I get it now. Money is the root of all evil. And some of y'all will do anything to put $1 in your pocket. Caroll Robinson should not be voted into anything else in Harris County. He's hanging on by a thread with the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats. And honestly, my brother, you don't even have enough membership to make one organization. One. You've lost all your coalitions in East Texas. I know you have. The only thing left standing is 2 organizations. You don't have an organization. You politicians out there, listen to me closely. He can't deliver the black vote unless he tries to cheat. But I assume he wouldn't do that. But he can't deliver the black vote. You Democrats, he can't deliver it. His organization can't deliver it. Shakira Dennis can't deliver it. Tell her bow down. You work for Preston Middleton. You couldn't deliver it. But you want people to believe that you guys are working in the best interests of black people, when in all actuality, you've undermined the African American community, and you've done nothing for them for years. Now, I know you might be a little upset, but I think we've learned with the lawsuit from Dr. Candace Matthews to Aubrey Taylor that you can't stop us from talking. I'm sorry, and everything I'm presenting tonight is facts. So don't be mad because it's in facts. And ain't none of y'all over there in that coalition built to deal with me or my attorneys. Yeah, I know you called and did what you did with your little attorney calling, and man, I'm not scared of none of you lawyers at all. If you don't want people to talk about you, then don't do nothing that gives us talking points. You people stay involved in corruption and the undermining of our own people. And then when you undermine us, you want to lie on white people and Republicans and say that they did it. So taking money from your membership in the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, and yeah, H-Bad, I'm going to throw you in there with them, taking money from these people. And H-Bad, you're not a bad group, but you connected to them by the hip. So if they bad, you bad too. And all y'all do is sit around and plot to figure out who you gonna put in office, who should be the next person to sit in a seat. It's a musical chair situation. And when you put these clowns in these seats, our community gets nothing out the deal. And then you want us to run around. But what about the Republicans? No, I ain't talking about no Republicans. I'm talking about y'all. So those out there that even fathom supporting anybody that these people support, that ought to tell you something. Because if they're crooked, the people they support must be crooked. And you dumb politicians that keep giving your money to these folk, y'all out there got Antron running y'all campaigns. Are you serious? Antron answers to Caroll. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say this like this here. I don't think Antron can boo-boo unless Caroll tells him to. Caroll tells him when he can take a breath. Caroll tells him when he can take a drink. Caroll tells him when he can boo-boo, and Caroll tells him when he can wipe his own behind. Caroll Robinson is not good for the African American community. He's never been any good for it. And yeah, I'm talking about you tonight, homie. So thinking you could just be quiet and let it blow over, I ain't gonna let it blow over. And you and your rodeo clown, both of y'all gonna get it. What you gonna do? Run down there to one of your crooked judges and file a lawsuit against me? I wish you would. It's musical chairs, and they get to pick who they want in office to represent us. Am I correct? See, y'all tell me how that worked, especially on the north side with Tasha Jackson. Y'all that voted for it was stupid. Look at what you got out the deal. Nothing. You get a newsletter every week, but ain't nothing being done. It ain't nothing gonna be done. She's building her portfolio off of you stupid Negroes. So look at your communities and see what they have done for Black people. Now, the reason I say what they have done for Black people is simple, because when they come through our communities and they pander for votes, they promise I'm back, y'all, but they never seem to get to it. They never seem to get to it. Nah, it's just, remember, I'm up in this really, really cold weather, so sometimes it bothers the internet connection. But the thing is Caroll Robinson is a part of the problem. Caroll Robinson is one of the reasons that Black people in Houston are not where we need to be. Because these people are self-serving. They work for themselves. They don't work for us. So I'm letting you know that anybody, no, it's not you guys. It's the weather up here, man. I am in 34-degree weather. And sometimes we have issues. All right. They're self-serving. So anybody that Mr. Robinson is affiliated with in the 22 elections, I'm gonna come for you. Anybody that Antron is campaigning, running their campaigns, I'm gonna come for you. Even if we've never had words, even if I've never said anything about you, it's the fact that you affiliated with some crooks. It's the fact that you are affiliating with crooks and lying to us like you guys are gonna do this for our community. The only thing that y'all done did in the last 2 years is drop off some sanitizer. You done dropped off some water, some gloves, and a couple of turkeys. Outside of that, you've done nothing for our communities. And Caroll Robinson is one of those that have never done anything for our community. I don't want to hear about you bringing no turkeys, clown. When you gonna bring some economic opportunity to our community? When you gonna stop lying, dude? You see what I'm saying? These people are a joke, man. And the more that we support them, the further behind the 8 ball we get as a people. The more that we support these failed Black people, the further behind the 8 ball that we get. The Texas Coalition of Black Democrats is one of the fakest organizations you'd ever run across. If you rocking with the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, man, you believe they got a $3 bill with a Santa Claus on it. Everything about that organization is fake, including them people over there with them PhDs. I said it. What you gonna do? You're gonna sue me. Bring it. Bring it. Man, I don't cut my hair every day. I don't shave every day. I don't go to your fancy parties like y'all do. But if you bring it, I'll show you just how much power I got. I bet you my lawyer's better than yours. If Rusty Hardin and Dick DeGuerin leave Houston, y'all fucked. Because all you criminals use the same ones. But I put mine up against them. Because we do have some good ones that can't be bought. You understand what I'm saying? So for me to y'all, man, I mean, how many times we gonna support him? Across the state of Texas, y'all that don't really know what's going on, that's tuning in to me, Caroll Robinson and the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats are nothing more than some organized crooks. They ain't even organized crime. They organized crooks. Y'all think that y'all are just the upper echelon Negro. Y'all sick. Gary Monroe ain't the problem. Y'all are. Gary Monroe is this and that. So I want somebody else to tell me about switching parties. You gonna tell me? Because I don't want to be governed by no goddamn criminals. Caroll Robinson is who he is. He's fake, and everywhere he's gone, there's been money issues. That's a true statement. Everything he touches, he destroys. And maybe it's a good thing that he's running for Democratic Party chairperson, because he'll destroy the party for us. And that may force black people to start their own political party. Yeah. Go on and get the job, homie. You screw that up just like you'd have screwed everything else. But I'm really starting to look at something else. Every time you look up, it seems like you end up in a shady business deal with one of these females you're working with. I wonder why is that? I know for a fact that in my younger days, I was something else. So maybe you over there taking one for the team. Who knows? Maybe you over there doing some things. The only thing I know, wherever Caroll Robinson goes, trouble follows him. And normally he takes a little sidekick with him, Lalu Davis. And wherever them two go, it's always a problem. Did you not have money issues when you were at Houston Community College? You and Lalu. Did you not have money issues running the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats? Caroll and Lalu. Black people, it's time to get these pirates out of our communities. And politicians, they can't deliver no vote. Look at your votes for the runoff. How they doing? What they deliver? And these folk ain't even showing up. These people come to vote when they get ready. I think that you guys are in trouble in 2022. I think with the Latino vote being split 50-50 across the country, you in trouble. So what you gonna do? You gonna go lean on the Latino leadership to make them believe that they need you so that you can get their people to turn out to vote, to try to offset the fact that black people done woke up to you clowns? That's what your problem really is, that black people are slowly waking up every day to the fact that y'all ain't doing shit for us, man. I can't expect for no, when I was in your party, I couldn't expect for no white man or no Republican to do nothing for my community. You governed it. But then I woke up and I figured it out, that they were not supposed to do nothing for me. It was you guys that were supposed to do it. So now you need to figure out something before 2022, because if not, you're going to get decimated. Your judges are going to come off the bench. You're going to lose some state rep seats. I know you're going to lose 131 because I'm coming to get it. I know you're going to lose 147 because Rashard Baylor coming to get it. And I don't want to hear when I come to get it. I don't want to hear about anti-vax. I'm not talking about no vaccines. I'm talking about the fact that y'all motherfuckers is crooks. I'm not talking about no CRT. I'm talking about the fact that y'all are crooks. So use some other buzzwords in all of these races because you're going to lose quite a few. You are going to lose quite a few of those races. I'm telling you, you're going to lose them. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on. I'm looking for something. You're going to lose quite a few. These guys are professional criminals. They're professional oppressors. See, we've had our eyes closed for a long time. And we've been oppressed by the oppressor. But it's the baby oppressor that we've been keeping our eyes closed to. It's the junior oppressor. It's the black oppressors. The ones that allowed our communities to be gentrified. The ones that ain't helped do nothing about the crime. The ones that don't show up to help us get our schools in order. The black oppressors. That's a whole different subject. But I've been watching y'all. And Caroll Robinson is a black oppressor. Lalu Davis is a black oppressor. Gerald Womack is a black oppressor. Carl Davis is a black oppressor. Y'all are the problems. That's just a few of them. Y'all are the problems. Because y'all out here caping for these people that ain't doing nothing for us. But yet every time I see Carl Davis, you on a plane going somewhere, but you ain't got no job. How the hell you flying and you ain't got no job? Oh, you using that money from the George Floyd field at Yates? Or did you save up a couple of pennies from running around here with your head up Sheila Jackson Lee's behind? Which one is it, brother? But you stay in our community trying to convince people who they should vote for. But the people that they voting for ain't doing nothing for us. Yeah, I'm calling y'all out. I'm calling y'all out. You ain't gonna do nothing about it. You'll sit your monkey ass down somewhere, man. I'm calling it out. And I'm gonna keep calling it out to make sure that y'all clearly understand who these people truly are. I'm gonna keep calling it out. And we running out of time, but tomorrow, RagingElePhantsRadio.com, 2 p.m. Talk that from a conservative perspective with the 5-star general tomorrow at 2 o'clock, RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Last week I streamed live. This week I'm not. You're going to have to go and listen to it on your phone, on your computer. RagingElePhantsRadio.com, the new podcast, 2 p.m. Central Time. Talk that from a conservative perspective, and it's going down. This Saturday, the day after tomorrow, I talked to Annie Whitaker, the teacher that filed the initial complaint against Carlotta Brown-Outley for cheating on the STAR test at Peck, the story we covered last night. I will be doing a very special war zone this Saturday with Annie Whitaker. She's coming to tell y'all exactly what they did. I told you last night, but now the teacher that filed the initial complaint of cheating on the STAR test because she was the teacher for those kids, Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, Annie Whitaker will be on the war zone. And it ain't nothing that somebody can do. Hold on, let me write it in for y'all. Okay. So tomorrow we'll be on the brand new podcast at 2 p.m. If you're at work, put your ear pods in and kick back and listen to me, because I'm gonna talk that. I promise you I am. If you didn't hear last week, the first episode, I'm going hard in the paint tomorrow. And then Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, Annie Whitaker will be on a special war zone. She's actually out of town, couple of days vacation with the family, but she can't wait to come and have the conversation with you guys. And we'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have. I want you to keep your eyes open, and I want you to understand too that this Saturday is election day in Harris County. There's some runoff elections that have to pop over in Fort Bend. You have Monica Riley versus Reginald Pearson for city council. I proudly would tell you to support Reginald. Monica Riley is a pathological liar, lying to the community about what she did for Marshall High School, when in all actuality, she didn't. I was there. I was helping those people fighting for Title I, and Miss Riley was one of the people fighting against Marshall High School. So if you'll fight against a high school, you definitely will fight against a whole community. You know, in HISD, there's 4 runoff elections. Jeanette Lindsay Garza versus Elizabeth Santos. Santos is nothing short of a racist. That's who she is. That's what it is. I would vote for Jeanette. In the other races, I'm supporting Kendall Baker, Caroline Walter, and Bridget Wade. The rest of those people are racist. They're liars. They're owned by the union. They're not going to do anything to help our children. You see what I'm saying? And some of them were sitting on the board when this initial complaint was filed in regards to Carlotta Brown Outley at Peck, and they knew. They never did anything. They never did anything to help those kids, man. Thunder asked, do I know anything about all the gentrification, third ward, fifth ward, city gas? Yeah, I know. I know that the Texas Association of Realtors gives money to every city council member in Houston. They give to their campaigns. So these city council people know who gentrifying our communities because they down with them. If you think I'm lying about the gentrification, go to Greenspoint, the Greenspoint Mall, and see what's going on with Jared Davis and Tasha Jackson with that type of gentrification. Former city council, current city council finna go make millions off of that community by gentrifying it. Y'all tell me. See, we know what's going on. The question is, are we bold enough? Let's start there. Bold enough to talk about it in public. I am. Have I ostracized myself? If I did, I don't care. Do I give a damn about a politician not speaking to me? No, not at all. Does nothing for me. Do I care if I lose a few friends? You see, it is what it is. Don't sell nothing, Thunder. She said, I'm getting tired of these people calling, trying to buy my house and property from me. Don't sell them nothing. That is how we create generational wealth, because that house needs to be, you need to pass that house on to either your kids or your grandkids with a clear understanding. If you were smart, you'd write it in the will that they could never sell it. It has to go to the next generation. You pass it down. No, don't sell them nothing. Don't sell them nothing. These people go in the office dirt poor and come out filthy rich because we allow them to do that. Okay, Thunder, you're a black man, my fault. But don't sell them nothing, brother. Don't sell them nothing at all. Don't sell them anything. You keep that in your family. That's how you stop gentrification. You just keep it in your family. You feel what I'm saying? And that's how you stop it. You keep it in your family. Oh, I can only imagine. If it's prime property, they're going to keep calling. They're going to keep calling because they want it. They're going to keep calling. So, I just know that don't support Caroll Robinson, Terrence Skanks, and Antron Johnson with anything that they do, especially politically. Especially politically, because they ain't nothing but a bunch of crooks. I said what I said, partner. And I mean that. They ain't nothing but a bunch of crooks, man. And anybody rocking with them ain't nothing but some baby crooks. So what you gonna do, good doctor? You wanna sue me? Bring it. Say, man, it's a reason I'm the best in the business. Every night, 7 o'clock, Central Standard Time, Facebook and YouTube, it's the War Zone. Tomorrow, 2 p.m., RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Talk that from a conservative perspective with the 5-star general. Saturday, Annie Whitaker, 7 p.m. We ain't through with you, Principal Brown. We ain't gonna stop till we break your back. Until tomorrow, I'll holler at you.